As always, glad to have you back. So thankful you could tune in and spend a little time with us. It's Thursday. It's the 13th day of February. I'm trying to put on a brave face. Actually, I really don't have to. There is some good news weather-wise tonight, and even though a large portion of our program is going to be centered around the weather in one point or one way or another, this is your last forecast update that I've got for you. I know you can't read the fine print from there. I have a hard time reading it from here, and I'll go into it in more detail a little later on. But at the end of the forecast period, say this time next week, midweek next week, we've got temperatures, brace yourselves, hitting near 60 degrees. And I think we'll even break that threshold maybe on a couple of days. So you have that to look forward to. That is what we can focus on. Not the fact that we're going to have another hit of winter after that. We don't want to go that far, but we've got 60-degree days in the forecast. Now, in the near term, as you've already heard, we've got more snow in the forecast. Perhaps the tune of the amount that we saw this morning, it really picked up, added up. Here in our area, an inch or two was a good bet. Well, that proved true. We saw 4 inches here at the newsroom. Some folks in eastern Kentucky, Pike County, and elsewhere picking up on a cool 10 to 12 inches of snowfall. It has been a relentless winter that keeps hammering right on, with now another system at our doorstep. This one coming from the northwest, and as it makes its way across the Tennessee Valley later tomorrow evening, well, I think it's going to gain some momentum and leave behind in its wake maybe another few inches of snowfall, 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 for maybe a lot of us right here in the viewing area. I'll update that for you, of course, before we leave you. I won't be excited to do so, but I'll at least pretend that I am. One word of a schedule change. I got an update for McGoffin County Rumpke customers. They say due, of course, to the inclement weather, their schedule now is running 1 day behind. So garbage collection for McGoffin Countyans who normally had their garbage picked up today, if it's still sitting there, it will be picked up tomorrow. And for those of us who have our garbage collected on Fridays, it will be collected on Saturday. So you've got an extra day to have to get out and take it to the curb. Well, as you can well imagine, it's been a hard time. I've had a hard time trying to keep up with all the schedule changes. Where are we at calendar-wise as far as school is concerned? Basketball games and the high school basketball season has just been scrambling. All the coaches and athletic directors alike have been scrambling to try to make things meet. You know, it's the end of the season. You've got senior nights. We've got the district tournament, which starts on the 24th, I guess it is. A whole lot of things happening, and all that's got to work in there at some point or another. We'll talk about your basketball schedule, senior night, as it was set to take place, and still is technically here in McGoffin County tomorrow night with our athletic director in just a few moments. But right now, Stanley Holbrook, just as he was making the call to, unfortunately and regretfully, call off classes for McGoffin County schools again tomorrow due to those side roads, which didn't have the luxury of getting into that sunshine and melting off this evening as our main roads did, gives us an update on how many days of school we've been out, what's our projected date, and spring break. Can you make plans to maybe take a little vacay during? So, well, I wouldn't put any deposits down, at least non-refundable ones, on that just as of yet. McGoffin County school system has now missed 20 days, while we are faring better than some. Wolfe County, I think, currently in the lead at 26.
The following interview was done earlier this afternoon, around 2, 3 o'clock or so, and it was actually about an hour or so after that a quick melting, the results of which you can see here. For example, outside the newsroom, you can see where the sun hit today. This side of the road, not much sun, still a little snow. But on the other side there, you saw some grass, still a long way from being green, but grass where the snow used to be. We saw 45 degrees today and a lot of sunshine, and it went a long way to melting off a lot of snow and ice, but not all the way, and it was after a hopeful few hours today that they might get classes in session. They realized that yet again they'll have to call off school for tomorrow in McGoffin County, and that makes day 20.
So before we talk about the weather and the school schedule, what's the weather doing to the construction schedule?
On a construction site, you know, the people that get these bids, they get weather days. Sometimes it's rain, sometimes it's snow, sometimes it's freezing weather. And I would estimate he's got 15, 16 weather days, so that means he'd be 15, 16 days behind. But that's really not hurting us, but what's hurting us more right now than anything else is the fact that we can't move some of the topsoil because it's muddy. We need a few dry days so we can start spreading that topsoil and do some dressing up. He's to the point now that he's about ready to start dressing things up. He's been laying the water lines, they're just the water lines for runoff water, and setting a big concrete things with the lines run into and connect everything together, which I'm not real good at that terminology, but that's what he's working on. And all the construction bids have been let out for the athletic complex across the creek and the roads and the sewer hookups and laying the underground electrical lines to the new school. All that's been let out. The water has not been let out yet. We're looking at it. We have to work in conjunction with the city government, Dauphin County Schools, and Mr. Pete Shepard and the city government working together. And we're looking at moving an 8-inch line, almost 3,000 linear feet, to hook up to the school. It would be a savings to a school and the county to run an 8-inch line versus a 6-inch line, which is a lot closer. And that being the 6-inch line, you have to do a lift station and build a shed over the lift station, and you have to do all the maintenance on that station as long as it's there. So it's more cost effective, somewhere in the neighborhood of $150,000 you would save by moving the 8-inch line versus a 6-inch line.
In regards to our other calendar now, that being just our general school calendar, no school again tomorrow. Where is it putting us, and what's spring break looking like as far as plans for families?
Last night we called it off kind of early, but we try to call it off early if there's any way possible so that children can sleep late and the parents don't have to worry. There'll be no school in Dauphin County on Friday, and it's because of side roads. Most of the major roads are clear by now, but still the side roads have been packed down, and it's impossible for it to melt in one day. So there'll be no school. Right now, on our school calendar, if there's no more snow days, no more floods, we would get out on June the 3rd, which means we missed approximately 20 days. Now, the Board of Education, at the last board meeting, told me that, if anybody asked, that they were looking at the spring break and may lose part or all of it, but they're looking at it. And it'll be in the future before they make that decision, because they want to wait as long as possible to give the government, which is our state of Kentucky, KDE, Kentucky Department of Education, an opportunity to see if they're going to award any days. Because they may award us some days and we may not need to take it. But that'll all be weighed out when those are been looked at by the Kentucky Department of Education. And the board will make the best possible decision that they can make in the best benefit of our students.
Still ahead, we've got more to talk about when we talk about the Corvette Museum and a just cavernous sinkhole that swallowed up those 8 precious Corvettes, and what crews are going to do to try to save them and then save the structure. And then we're going to wrap it up, of course, after all that and much more with your forecast, talking about 2 winter storms, some thunderstorms in the 60s, all in 1 week span. Where else but Kentucky? And where else are you going to talk about it but right here after this?
Have you ever noticed how many insurance commercials and advertisements are on television nowadays? You can't watch your favorite program without seeing a little pig or green lizard trying to sell you insurance and get your money for their premiums. But let me ask you this. If you have been in a serious wreck, do you really think that you are in good hands of the insurance companies when you have lost wages, medical bills, and pain and suffering from your head to your toes? The answer is no. If you want to truly be in good hands, give me a call. I'm attorney Donald Wayne McFarland. Let me put my 20 years of experience in working to protect the rights of injured people to work for you. 349-9000.
At the end of every race, Mark Martin hangs up his driving gloves. He hangs up his fire suit. And he hangs up his helmet. Which is why he picks up his phone and opens the ER Extra app. The app shows ER Extra wait times, locations, and more. It's the one safeguard Mark Martin is never without. ER Extra at Paul B. Hall Regional Medical Center. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
From time and money saving services like their overdraft protection, telephone and online banking services, to finding the right home, college, or car loan, to personalized checking and savings accounts designed around your exact needs, Sagersville National Bank is still your best choice and the same locally owned and operated bank that's been looking out for your family's financial health since 1902. Sagersville National, restoring the piggy bank population one savings at a time. Check out our daily specials that get even better after 4 p.m. only at your Sayersville Lee's Famous Recipe. Friday's the day to get our famous liver or gizzard meal deals with 2 homemade sides and a biscuit for just $4.59 or only $3.99 after 4 p.m. only at your Sayersville Lee's.
I've been having a hard time trying to keep up with all the schedule changes, and it's been, I'm sure, even harder for school districts, coaches, and athletic directors alike. They're having to try to work as best as possible in concert to see that all these very important, the most important of at least, games get in and done before, well, the postseason gets here. You know, each school has their respective senior nights for boys and girls. They have to get those in there. They have to be able to do so on a night that the other team can travel to that particular school and, of course, have somebody to play on that special evening. And then, of course, there's the district tournament, which is just around the corner. McGoffin County High School Athletic Director Neil West tells me tonight that's been a top priority of his for the last several days, and he does have a tentative schedule for some makeup games and the possibility thereof of having to change senior night for a lot of our seniors, not all, but a lot of our seniors, tomorrow night.
As of right now, the girls are scheduled to play Boyd County at Boyd County night, and that game has been canceled. On schedule for tomorrow night, it's supposed to be senior night for boys, cheerleaders, and dance team, and we will start the festivities at around 7 o'clock for that if we get to have the ball game. I know there's another snowstorm coming in. There have been some alternate plans that's been put in place, if possible, if we don't get a play tomorrow night, that we're looking at some games next week about moving the game around and playing a night at home before we be able to do senior night for that. Next week's schedule, both boys and girls will play next Wednesday at Betsy Lane, and Friday night is scheduled for girls senior night against Breathitt County on Friday night. But we'll make that decision tomorrow. I've been in contact with Owsley County about, they got 3 inches of snow today, and I know they're giving 2 to 4 inches of snow for tonight, for tomorrow and tomorrow night. It will be their call whether they can make it or not, and we've talked to some other coaches in the district, in the region area that we've got games scheduled with, and they're willing to drop a ball game that they can reschedule or change it around. Big thing is our Wednesday night game is at Betsy Lane. It is their senior night. Our boys game on Thursday night is at Morgan County, and it's their senior night. And so really we have Monday and Tuesday to play with next week. And like I said, I've been in contact with Pikeville, and Pikeville's willing to do some changes if we have to foresee that we're not going to be able to play tomorrow night.
What do we know about the district tournament thus far?
Had a district meeting yesterday. Everything's set for the district. The Sheldon Clark game will not be made up. I know it's a district game, but it doesn't have no variation in the seedings or outcome of it. Right now, McGoffin County's boys are the 4th seed. They will play February the 24th at 8:15 at Johnson Central. They'll be taking on the Paintsville Tigers. The February the 25th on Tuesday, our Lady Hornets will play the winner of Paintsville Sheldon Clark at 6:15, and then the finals for the girls will be on Thursday night, and the finals for the boys will be on Friday night.
And the forecast does have us pinning on some high hopes that, well, everything will stay on schedule for next week. We're going to make a run at the 60s for a few days on end. We'll see some precipitation, but that's going to be in the form of rain, and I'll elaborate more on all this a little bit later on in the program. The big thing is tomorrow night is senior night going to happen. It is for the boys basketball team, cheer, and dancers, and then senior night next Friday is for the girls basketball team and band members. But it's tomorrow night, which will be the focal point, and that will be a part of our forecast, so to speak. McGoffin County has missed 20 days of school this year, as I referred to in the earlier report. Just to give you a point of reference that I meant to bring into the report earlier, we missed 30 days of school in the year of the ice storm, 2009-2010 school year. The following year, in the 10 and 11 school year, we missed 24 days due to snow, and we're right now at 20 and counting this year. And you can always count on, if you will, trying to stretch a segue there, on our community calendar, get you caught up to date on things happening in and around the area, birthdays and anniversaries too, all brought to you by McGoffin Farm Bureau. A birthday wish, the picture came, I think, via a fax, so it's not the clearest, but you can still see a precious smile there in that young lady. But here's the birthday wish as follows. It says, Hubert Blanton wishes to wish Amy Blanton a very happy 23rd birthday today, February the 13th. Happy birthday, happy 23rd birthday to Amy Blanton. And this young man celebrating his birthday today, happy birthday to Ryan Bailey. Love your mom, dad, and bub. Happy birthday to you. And more wishes to follow. Happy birthday to Cody Dalton Wayne Salyer, 17 years old today. And from mom and dad, ma, pa, family, and friends, happy 17th birthday to Cody Dalton Wayne Salyer. Got another Cody celebrating another birthday. He's 19 today. And with a lot of love from Ted, Dawn, and the kids, happy birthday. Happy 19th to Cody Gamble. Now, I had a couple others called in. I know one, Brenda Gibson, one of our avid viewers, called the birthday in. Brenda, call me back. I kind of had a voice cut out on you on the voicemail, so give me a ring back. We'll get that on probably on tomorrow. And other birthdays are always welcome on McGoffin County Farm Bureau sponsored Your News Today Community Calendar. And a funeral service announcement brought to you on behalf of the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Done so in honor tonight of 53-year-old Joanne Denny of Williamstown, Kentucky, who passed away on the 11th, the daughter of Ralph Keaton and the late Emma Jean Carty. And besides her father, she's survived by her husband, Ricky. Visitation continues this evening. It will continue all day tomorrow and until services, which start Saturday afternoon at 1, all of which from the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Burial is going to follow services at the Carty Cemetery at Stinson. Love is in the air at the seasonal shop with something sweet for all your hearts. With cute $5 or $10 custom Valentines perfect for the kids at school and other adorable cuddly candy bouquets just perfect for everyone. And they've got the finest in Whitman's chocolates and more ways to say I love you than you can imagine throughout the store. Fashionable and fan favorite handbags and jewelry for her. Absolutely anything and everything UK for him, and even Big Blue for the cutest of Valentines. And just in, sassafras burlap designs in monogrammed doormats and garden flags to say welcome. All this and so much more only at Fraser's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop in downtown Sagersville.
This year, W2 means we double. Hutch Chevrolet Buick GMC will double your tax return up to $1,000. With more, here's Earl Justice.
Find 200 of our most popular vehicles with payments starting at just $149 a month with zero down. Plus all sales decision in 15 minutes or less, or I'll give you the vehicle.
This double your tax return event ends in 2 weeks at Hutch Chevrolet Buick GMC in Batesville, Kentucky. Isn't it time to buy Hutch?
The New Year's sales event rolls on at Conley's with 3.99% and up to $1,000 in rebates on new Polarises. Kawasaki's got 3.95% or save up to $1,500 in cash. And just in, Polaris Power digital inverter generators, ultra quiet and ultra affordable at Conley's, Kawasaki, and Polaris of Paintsville. Attention candidates, for whatever you want to get your name and message on, shirts, caps, pins, matches, cozies, and more, call Avavian Deaton, and she can tell you about her campaign special. That's 72 caps and 24 t-shirts delivered to your door for a limited time low price of just $3.99. Call Avavian, 349-3835. Faster, friendlier, family-owned Parkway Pharmacy, open 8:30 till 6:30 Monday through Friday in the new McGoffin Medical Plaza under the care of local pharmacist Jesse Rudd. To make Parkway Pharmacy your pharmacy, come by or give us a call at 349-4400.
Let's do this. Can't believe my daughter wants to marry a Hatfield.
And I can't believe my son fell in love with a McCoy.
I got one thing to say. They're going to have the wireless plan with the best service.
And I say they're going to have the wireless plan with the biggest savings.
Daddy!
Hush up, Mary Beth.
Pa, stay out of this, Jonah.
We're done talking.
You got that right.
Better service.
Bigger savings.
Daddy, we've both got Appalachian Wireless. Better service.
Bigger savings. That's today's Appalachian Wireless.
But the Corvette Museum was back up and running, and it's just still a very sad situation for a lot of car enthusiasts and some of those owners who had a couple of those vehicles on loan, which are still well below the surface. We've got some new video tonight, some drone footage that really gives you a bird's eye view on just exactly how big and cavernous this sinkhole is. And while it's still being examined by professionals and experts and engineers, you can't help but wonder just how long has this thing been in the works.
Since you heard about the incident yesterday, like a lot of folks, Chevrolet was trying to determine what we could really do to lend assistance to the Corvette Museum. And it very quickly became apparent to us that the best way that we could help would be lend our technical resources, our expertise, and our vast experience with these vehicles. So today, Chevrolet is announcing that we're going to oversee the restoration of the Corvettes that are damaged at the museum.
That was Jeff Lamarck, and that was his kind of introduction as he's the new Corvette plant manager, and that wasn't under the best circumstances as you heard him remark, but not just the 2 Corvettes of the 8 that were damaged by the sinkhole that were on loan from General Motors, but all 8. That promise of support for restoration and repair for all 8 is coming from General Motors and Chevrolet at this hour. This drone footage is courtesy of the National Corvette Museum. You can go to their website and from there find a link if you want to watch it over and over. They've got about 6 different videos of just footage just like this, depicting just exactly as you see here what was left behind. And we're very, very interested to wait and hear from experts and engineers as they determine how this happened and why, just how long this process took for the earth to literally erode from underneath the museum. Simply magnificent footage, and these drones have been proven to be quite, and even more so than quite, but valuable, extremely valuable in situations like these. And in fact, here at the newsroom, we've been investigating the process and just trying to pick a company to go with. There's several on the market, some cheap, some not so much. The resolution for cameras is getting better, the prices are coming down, and being able to use your own camera, such as a GoPro, is even becoming more affordable. So we're looking forward to get into this arena of videography as well. But for now, look how far down this goes. Simply unimaginable images coming from a crater literally underneath the Corvette Museum in Bowling Green. And the band plays on. Going into your Licking Valley RACC forecast, we've got another hit coming. No big news flash, and we're getting used to this. We should all be very well prepared by now for another few inches of snowfall. Now, I asked for today here at the newsroom a low of 30, a high of 48 degrees, and it went a long way towards melting a lot of that heavy, wet snow that we saw, but it didn't get it all, and therefore, of course, classes canceled and called off again in Montgomery County and a lot of other schools tomorrow. We're going to see a break in the action tonight. Clearing skies, mostly clear skies, and a low of 25 degrees. Then tomorrow, as you see there, 41 for your high. Clouds are going to be on the increase throughout the afternoon. Rain likely before 5, then likely to start to mix in with some snow, and then likely to become all snow thereafter. We'll see late night snow accumulations. 1 to 3 inches possible right now is our window for the viewing area. But with this system coming from the north and west and moving in, and it's expected to do so, and all the while maybe have a little momentum building with it. And if it does, well, who's to say? It could be another surprise, kind of like today. Nevertheless, on the backside of it, we'll see a weekend with 32 degrees and partly sunny on your Saturday, and a lingering chance of some snow again. Sorry. Partly sunny and decent for your Saturday, but another slight hit of some snow Saturday night, say between 9 and 4 in the morning. Mostly cloudy that evening, a low of 24. We just can't get away from it. Sunday, 39 and a low of not 325 degrees. That's supposed to be 25. My apologies. It's been a long week. But partly sunny, 39, 25 for your high and low on your Sunday. Some clouds late. Thereafter, after we get out of that, we'll start off on a rainy note next week. No more snow in the forecast after Monday with only a slight chance. From there, it's going to be all rain. 50 on your Monday, 52 on your Tuesday, 61 on your Wednesday, 65 degrees is what I've got in the forecast for Thursday of next week. We'll see some showers. We may see some thunderstorms. When was the last time you got excited about seeing some thunderstorms and showers? But if it's with 65 degrees after what we've been through, well, that's a good thing. But thereafter, our luck will be short-lived in another return to winter sometime soon. February's still got another kick or two left, and that's after a possible couple of inches tomorrow. But I'll see you before all of that. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night for more of Your News Today.